And welcome into the JUCO Rush. I'm Mike Fraser, our producer, Blake Gravitt. This is the JUCO Rush as we talk junior college football around the country, focusing on these NJCAA schools, making the tour around the conferences. We started in Mississippi, still in Mississippi. 14 teams play football in that conference down in the Deep South in the MACCC. Tonight, we focus on Itawamba and Northeast. The JUCO Rush powered by Pepsi, proud sponsors of junior college athletics. They understand a quality education at the junior college level as well as the talented athletics that the junior colleges throughout the country and the NJCAA provide. So we thank the folks at Allen Beverages down there in Gulfport, Mississippi, for their support of the JUCO Rush. Our first guest tonight, we're going to talk Itawamba Community College football, as ICC had another impressive signing class, and we sat down with the head coach of the Itawamba Indians, and that is Travis Macon. Travis Macon now joining us, the head coach of the Itawamba Indians. And Coach, I want to start on the defensive side of the ball. You guys led the conference in sacks last year. Defense is become a benchmark for the Indians in recent years. Let's start in that. Let's go in the linebacker secondary, guys. Bryson Thomas is a guy I know you're one of your guys you're really high on. Talk about him.
We're very high on him. We like the way he moves around. We also like his size. We did lead the league in on defense last year. But one of the things we wanted to do on defense this year is get bigger at certain positions. So he's one of the guys that we was after that. He fits the mold that we want, and we're excited to have him.
At the linebacker slot, Jarquez Perry's someone that really jumps out at me. You guys went after him, and it was a guy you wanted to land. What do you expect him to bring to the program?
He was at the top of everybody's board in junior college. At the end, we had some Division Ones that offered him. We was kind of nervous that we weren't gonna be able to get him, but he's a kid that's gonna come in day one. That's gonna be the guy. We love his size. We love the way he rushed the passer. So he does some things that you can't coach. So he's one of those kids that's gonna help us get to the next level.
Itawamba, always a program. Look, their women's basketball team is doing well right now on their way to the tournament. The area that you're located in. You're just down the street, 40 minutes from Northeast, but it's a place where they've won in the past. What was most attractive to you when Itawamba came calling to offer you that position in Fulton?
The location and the school. It all starts with our president, Dr. Allen. When you come on campus, the campus sells itself. I mean, it's really nice around here. So when we get these players on campus, that's the biggest thing, just getting them on campus to see how beautiful the campus is. So, a lot of the credit goes to our president. He does a really good job of making sure the school looks nice.
On the offensive side of the ball, before we get to your quarterbacks, Emmanuel Randall is a guy that is getting some accolades across the country. What was the recruiting process like for him? Where does he fit in with your offense? Is he a guy that can comfortably touch it 20 times a night? Where do you see at this juncture him participating in the offense?
I think he's going to come in and, he's going to contribute as soon as we get here. We are returning some guys, but we try not to let those guys touch the ball that many times. We try to keep him fresh. So, we'll be able to get him in the offense and just see what's his strong points in the offense and, kind of let him build from there, so we are going to give him a chance at, competing in the offense.
And up front, that's where it all starts. All you guys say that, hey, man, it all starts up front. One guy in that old line, Camden Selman, he's good. We know that. How good is he, and who is going to be the leader in that offensive line unit?
To get Sullivan was good. He was committed to one of the other junior colleges, and we got him late. So to get a guy in our backyard, I'm big on getting all the kids in my district.
Yeah.
So it was huge to get him to stay home, and that's something that's I think been helping us to get better quick is to keep all our really good players at home. But some of the guys that's leading that group that's coming back, we got Harper which has some Division One stuff going on. I think he's up to 7 Division One offers. He's one of our starting tackles. We got a center here, Brady Phillips. He's an all-conference player. So we're returning 3 to 4 returning starters from last year's team. So all those guys are in the weight room. They're doing really good right now.
Travis Macon joining us, head coach for the Itawamba Indians, as they put together another solid signing class here in the 2024 signing campaign. I'm sorry, the 2025 signing campaign, as they look toward the 2025 season. The wide receiver position, 2 guys. Let's start with Keontre Gardner, the wide receiver there. Will he be a go-to guy for you early in August and September? And what is his best asset at that position?
We're going to start him off in the slot. And, around here, we get everybody the same opportunity to compete for a starting job. I tell everybody there's no starters until you prove to me that you want to be out there. So, we're going to give him a chance early. We think he's a kid that if we can get him out in space, he's going to make a lot of things happen.
And then, Chance Funches, man, this guy looks he's a 2-sport guy, but you can see on film, he's got to be one of your better athletes on the roster.
He is. And, like you said, he's a 2 sports. He's also a basketball player. So, that his vertical, we excited to get inside the 20. We're going to throw it up and let him go get it. But we excited to have him. We look forward to getting him in here and getting started really fast with him.
Well, and then you mentioned to throw it up, the quarterback position. 2 guys that jump out at us right now, Del J. Bailey. Both these guys are dual guys. Cole McCarty, who transferred in over from East Mississippi. As you go into spring practice, what do you want to see out of these guys?
I want to see both of them compete. And the biggest thing is, just see who's going to lead this offense. And, the good thing about our offense, 65% of our offense is here. So, spring ball is going to be very, very crucial for both of these guys to get out there, throw the ball around, and make plays so we can see who is the number 1 guy. So we start spring in a couple of weeks. So I look forward to watching these guys compete. They already been competing in the weight room. I want to see them compete on the field.
So, Coach, at that quarterback position, when will you, or at this point, when will you expect to make a decision and go public with who your starting quarterback will be? Will spring practice be the big barometer, or will it be other things?
Spring practice is going to be probably 80% of it. Now, I do want to get them back in the summer and let them continue to compete because, I don't want to just make a decision off spring ball. I want to get them back in the summer and just see who keep progression. So we won't make that decision till the end of the summer.
The best unit of this football team, both sides of the ball, which is it? What do you think it's going to be?
I think our strong point right now is our offensive line. Right now in-house, we have 6 guys, and out of the 6, 4 of them are already getting Division I offers. So I'm excited about that group. I will also say my running back room, we got 2 guys coming back that's getting a lot of attention. So and we have Tyron Mosley coming back, which, did really good for us at receiver. So I can go on the offensive side. I'm very pleased with the offense right now. So I would say my whole offense is the strong point of this group this year.
Well, that North Division was wide open last year. You were right in the hunt of it, in the thick of it till the very end. The South, that South Division generally gets the headlines of depth. But man, the North, the last couple of years, it can really make a case. Those middle tier teams have moved up a level, and Itawamba, I think, is one of those teams.
Yes, we was right there. Last year at halftime, we was winning the game against Northwest. We had 2 players at halftime that our trainer told me that they could no longer compete in the second half. One was a concussion, the other one, I forget the injury. But, when you lose a guy like Jay Walker, it changes the defense. So when we came out in the second half, we just didn't finish. So depth it was big in this signing class. So that's what we did. We decided to go out and find the players that we need, and we made sure that we had depth in each position.
Well, Oral Gray is back as we close, and that's a guy that I know you're ecstatic that he's decided to go back, and he's rolling the dice on himself. He thinks he can increase his stock for a Division I offer.
Yes, we was very excited when he decided to come back. He was Player of the Week 3 weeks in a row. He'll be probably a candidate for All American. To have a guy like that to lead this group, it makes us better. So we're looking forward to him leading us again this year and taking us to the next level, because that's what we're saying now. We want to get to that next level, as a team. So he's the guy that keep us going in the right direction.
And you had said to us previously that Oral's put on some muscle here in the offseason. He's going to have a little bit of a different physical look.
He is, and the credit goes to our strength and conditioning coach, Coach Lucas. Coach Lucas does a really good job with those guys in the weight room, and his body is different now. He's up to 200 pounds, so I think he'll be even better this year than what he did last year.
Well, man, we're excited about watching you guys play. I think you're one of the teams in the North Division that can really make a move this year. I mean, you're trending in that direction, and your track record of where you've been, whether it be an assistant or a head coach, propels that team up. So should be, if you guys could stay healthy, Coach, I think you're right in the hunt for that one of those 2 slots in the North. We wish you all the best.
Hey, I appreciate it, and we excited about this season, and we're looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach, thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
Greg Davis now joining us, head football coach for the Northeast Tigers out in Booneville, Mississippi. Coach, man, it is always good to see you. And, I don't really spend much time on special teams, but I'm going to start here. I know you're happy. I know you needed a punter. It's a key piece on the chessboard for you, and you got one.
Yeah, we're excited about him. And, he's a kid that, we feel like that, he's going to be a guy that, every year that we're going to have an opportunity to change in special teams. And I think Daniel Sherman brings that, Northwest Rankin kid. He was a soccer player also, but Daniel definitely brings a lot to that. 22 and 23, we had Guy Gillespie, went out to Nevada and punted us last year for Nevada. Our special teams were, even though Red Parker did a good job, Martavius Parker did a good job this year, I think Daniel Sherman's going to really help us in that category.
I think where you're most excited about, from what I've read, from what I've watched, is and just talking to people, particularly in the North Division, is you're really happy with that secondary group. Let's start with a guy like Adam Greer. Your thoughts on him?
He's one of the things that we had to do is we had to get bigger. And that was one of the things that I think that we needed to address. And so Adam is a pretty good athlete. He's a versatile kid. He's a kid that can do a lot of different things. He's a baseball player. He's playing football and different things. But long story short, we're excited about him because, we feel like he can play corner. He can play safety. We feel like that he's just a diverse athlete back there that can really help us. And he's a smart, intelligent kid. That was the one thing, having one-on-one conversations. I got a great vibe out of him. He was a kid that was really intelligent. His cousin is actually one of our quarterbacks and started a quarterback for us. And so we knew the family background. We knew what kind of personality we're going to get out of this kid, and he's a good, high-character kid. We're excited about that kid for sure, and his versatility.
Another guy, Zane Fox, thoughts on him?
Yeah, so Fox is one of those guys that, his cousin or uncle, I should say, actually worked for Sean Cannon at ICC for years, and so his dad was a longtime coach. Now not in coaching, but really good corner, really good corner. Again, a longer kid, a kid that we feel like is going to step in and potentially be a day one impact player for us. And so, again, another huge upgrade in the secondary. And he was a kid that was highly recruited, had multiple offers throughout the state. We feel really good and confident about having him. And so we're looking forward for him to come in, as well as Greer, to be huge impact players day one.
How about Roman Patterson?
So Roman is a long kid. I'm almost 6'5". I mean, Roman's almost close to 6'2.5", 6'3". I mean, he's a long joker. Played at Corinth, kid that we kept evaluating. He played really well this season. We thought that he's a kid that could be a guy that's going to come in. He may play a lot of special teams roles early, but he's so long, he's going to be a very good corner when it's all said and done. But he's a basketball player. He runs track also. He's a kid that's very, very athletic. So we're excited about him. You know, I keep using the word excitement, but you know, we had to get bigger. So all those kids you just named are all over 6'1", you know, or right at 6'1" above. So we're just happy to have that kind of length in our secondary, and we hadn't had that in a while. So that was something we went after.
We're talking with Greg Davis, head football coach for Northeast, as the Tigers just put together their signing class about a month ago as we make our tour through the MACCC. Coach, you've been there a long time, 10 years, 215 as the head guy. Man, that alone is saying something, not only in junior college football, but particularly in the MACCC. Man, you are a grinder, you are a go-getter, and you deliver. What's the experience been like being the head guy in such a difficult conference?
Well, look, I need you as my agent. If you'll be able to go out there and just put that out there, I'll be more than happy to.
It's the truth, brother. It's the truth. I mean, I've been watching you for a long time, and it's tough, man, and you're getting it done.
Well, I appreciate that, and it takes good people around me to get it done. And I'm talking about coaches and I'm talking about players, but off camera, you know, earlier you alluded to my president, Ricky Ford, fantastic man. I'm going in my 11th season here, and you know, I don't know whatever that is, 14 total years here, 11th as the head coach, and
that's right.
I've had a lot of good players. I didn't even know this, I had no clue about this, but in recruiting, you know, a lot of people don't think these kids are doing their research. I had a young man in recruiting at a home visit this year. He said, "Coach, are you the longest tenured coach in school history?" And I said, "No, I'm the second." And then he said, "What about the league?" And I had to do the math because I was sitting there going, well, I guess consecutive years, I guess I am. It's been a good long run. I love the league. I love the kids. I think that our league is super competitive from top down. I think the coaches do an excellent job. I think that in our category, this is a place that I love. I love the people I work with. I love the kids I get to influence every day with transcendent coaching and leadership, and I think it's fun. I think that everything we do here is about the pure game of football. It's about the pure ability to influence kids on a daily basis. And that's been the motto of our program from day one when I took over in 2015.
Yeah, Greg, I want to ask you about linebacker Kevin Kirkland. Look, there's a nice linebacking core I like. One guy I want to pick out is Kirkland. I think this guy could be really special for you.
Well, you know, it's amazing because the young man is from Holmes County Central. He didn't have a lot of offers at all. Very strong. I mean, very, very strong. I walked in the school. The guy's wearing a bow tie. I'm sitting there going, what the world's going on? He's doing a presentation, a senior presentation. His personality caught me. His play obviously got our attention. But he's a guy that I could see growing into. He can play a nickel, quote unquote, or he could grow into and play a Sam linebacker. I mean, he's strong in the weight room. He's physical. He's tough. His dad's a sheriff, constable, something like that there. His brother played actually, I think, at Holmes and went on and played somewhere else. I think he played for Coach Koontz there at Holmes. And so, you know, he understands the league. He understands what it is. I'm really fired up to have this guy because I think his versatility and his toughness is going to help us.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys you've got that I want to get to, and we'll definitely have to have you back. But I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about your guys up front. I want to jump on the offensive side of the ball. Chris Soriano, 6'3", about 300 pounds. your assessment of him at this juncture. I like what I see, but what's your take?
I think he's going to be a good football player. You know, the thing that I liked about his ability is he played tackle, he played guard, and he played center. And he played at two different private schools. But at the end of the day, you know, when you have that versatility in our league, you can't – I mean, you know, when you got a 65-man roster, you're going to carry 9, 10 linemen. His versatility to be able to snap a football is if you're an O-line coach, you know, when you have a guy that can snap a football, but you can also kick out and play guard, it's going to help. And so I like his personality. He fits in well with us. He's a big kid. I think he's upper more like 320, honestly, Mike.
Okay.
But he's a thick, solid football player. He's going to be a road grader type kid, and he's a smart individual on the board. That's what I liked about him.
How about Tyler Wallace up front there?
So Tyler is one of the top power lifters in the state, and he squats in the almost 700-pound range. And so he was a kid that had an early offer in spring, ended up kind of getting hurt a little bit. They moved him to O-line and D-line, and he went back and forth. But a kid that I actually got on late, and it wasn't nothing to do with that kid. I was going after other puzzle pieces, and every time I talked to the kid, I was like, man, I like this kid. And this kid's strong. And you're probably going to put him at guard, you know, is what he's going to be. But he's just moving people. He's a people mover. And you like that as an O-line coach. So I like that kid.
And then the last guy I want to touch on before we go, Cameron Watson.
And so he's a kid that's pretty athletic. And so he's going to have to get stronger. He's going to have to develop more in some of that category. But every time you watch this film, he just kept getting a little better. And you saw different glimpses of him having some Z in the knee and playing laterally and doing some things. And you sit there and said, okay, this guy's got a chance. And so, you know, he's maybe a guy. I mean, I've got 2 Division I tackles right now, JT Fagan and Alfred Washington. He's a kid I'm going to have to, you know, develop over the time. But, you know, as a kid, I think that's going to be a good ball player.
Greg, thanks so much for your time. We hope you'll come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you.
And then a wrap on this week's program, the JUCO Rush. Special thanks to the good folks at Pepsi, proud supporters of the JUCO Rush and junior college athletics, as well as a community college education. Special thanks to head coach Travis Macon of Itawamba and Greg Davis of Northeast. Next week, we'll continue our tour around the MACCC as we get the lowdown on who signed who, how these teams feel, and how good of a signing class each of these respective programs have had. Once we get through Mississippi, we'll roll through the independents, through the ICCAC, through the KJCCC, and down through the great state of Texas in the SWJCFC. For our producer, Blake Gravitt, this is Mike Frazier saying so long, everybody.